So this is a video I've always wanted to do, but other topics and deadlines just always came up and I haven't been able to make it yet. But finally, the schedule has opened up, it feels right, so let's do it. Affordable watches that look more expensive than their price. I am going to keep every watch on this list under £1,000 or $1,300 USD. So let's do this thing. Number 1, the Orient Bambino. I've been eyeing a Bambino for so long now, I think it's time that I just buy one. But this is exactly my style of watch. Classic design elements, go anywhere, do anything, and it is available in 38mm and 42mm. If it's me and my money, I'd be buying the bracelet variation with the blue dial. I don't know. I think the Bambino is unreasonably good and you're getting so much watch for under £300. Moving into Seiko land, and there are so many Seiko models that look more expensive than they are. But there are two models I couldn't choose between, so the Presage and the Prospex Alpinist. Let's start with the Presage. I've got a massive thing for the Presage cocktail time. If one of my friends asked me for a daily wear recommendation for under $500, this is what I'd say. It's a dressier feeling everyday watch with a 40.5mm case diameter, 11.8mm thickness, 50 meters of water resistance. So I'd be cautious wearing it swimming, but it still can be worn. Boom. Yes. Love this watch. Moving on to my other favorite Seiko, and this is probably going to be my next Seiko purchase, the Prospex Alpinist. And this is the exact one I want to get. So the Alpinist was first introduced in 1959 for Japanese mountain men to be reliable in treacherous terrain. This is a bit more expensive than the Presage, but I think you're getting a lot for the price increase. So aesthetically beautiful, 39.5mm case diameter, 200 meters of water resistance, so quite the step up, and powered by the 6R35 automatic movement with 70 hours of power reserve. You will notice a second crown at 4 o'clock, which operates an inner rotating bezel that can be used for compass bearings. Now, leaning a bit more into the sporty, the Smith's Everest. This is another watch that is at that magical intersection of affordability, design, and heritage. So this has a case diameter of 36mm, a lug-to-lug of 43.5mm, and 100 meters of water resistance. Powering this watch is the Miyota 9039 automatic movement. Great movement, great dimensions, great specifications. If you're not as familiar with the Smith's Everest and Rolex Explorer lore, it is always debated on which watch Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay brought on their ascent up Everest. It's impossible to tell now, and it just isn't really well documented, but I think the official story is Rolex equipped the explorers with 2 prototypes for their trip, but Edmund Hillary also brought his own personal Smiths. I think that's the official story from everything I've been able to gather, but either way, fantastic watch, great timepiece, at a great price, if you're able to get your hands on one. These retail for £345, but they're pretty hard to get at retail and sell for more than that going secondary. Okay, Beaucroft is a new discovery for me. I was able to see these in the metal at the Bristol Watch Show, and I was genuinely shocked by the price. Let's talk about the element specifically. So these have that go anywhere, do anything look to them. It's that sweet spot for case dimensions, so 39.5mm diameter, 11.6mm thickness, screw down crown, and 200 meters of water resistance. One thing I have to say is how much I like the dial color options. Really nicely done, even down to the color selection on the seconds hand. These are a bit pricier at £649, which is a tricky price point, but I would say, after seeing them in the metal, feeling the build quality, they are completely worth it, and something a little bit different than the same old, same old. For me, Tissot is synonymous with value for money. This is another brand where I was caught between a couple, so I'm going to feature 2. Let's start with the Tissot Gentleman. This watch hits that spot I am always looking for, everyday style, kinda Oyster Perpetual-ish, but with a date. So a date just, you idiot. and great specifications with 100 meters of water resistance and available in quartz and automatic. My only gripe with the Gentleman is the lack of size options, only available in 40 millimeters and 42 millimeters. Now, obviously, I'm a lady, not a gentleman, so I know the case proportions weren't exactly made for me, but I think 36 millimeters and up is generally accepted as modern men's sizing. So I do think that is missing from the catalog. Now, second watch we need to talk about, the Tissot PRX, and this is where today's fabulous video sponsor, IFL, comes in. So this is the Terra Aurora and the Vista Aurora, and these are both launching today, December 2nd, and limited to 100 pieces each. Set against the 40mm Tissot PRX, these newest IFL creations are a celebration of the Aurora Borealis, or the Northern Lights. The Terra Aurora embodies the vastness of space with a view of the Aurora Borealis from the cosmos, while the Vista Aurora displays the Northern Lights from Earth. I know I say this every time, but it's true every time. I think these are my new favorite IFLs. For me, specifically, the Vista Aurora, it just reminds me of the first time I ever saw the Northern Lights. I was on a road trip in the Yukon with my best friend at the time, and it was just a sight I never thought I would see. So these creations are hand-painted by the skilled artists over at IFL, and no two pieces are the same. And also, they're super glow-in-the-darky. Yeah. All the specifications of the watch remain the same, so 40mm case diameter in stainless steel, 100 meters of water resistance, and powered by a Swiss quartz movement. If you love these as much as I do, they are limited, only 100 pieces per each design. So if you want to lock one down, click the link in my description. Make sure you use my link so IFL knows I sent you. And thank you so much to IFL for sponsoring this video. Now, I am usually whittering on about the Khaki Field Mechanical, great watch, and the Bolton, also a great watch, but I don't talk enough about the Murph. So this is the exact Murph I have in right now from the brand, full video coming soon. The Khaki Field Murph started as a prop for the movie Interstellar and finally worked its way into the Hamilton catalog. As of the time of filming, this is available in two sizes, 38mm and 42mm, and on a bracelet or a strap. So this specific one that I have in is the 38mm, which has 100 meters of water resistance and powered by the H10 automatic movement, which gives 80 hours of power reserve. Although Certina isn't a household name, it is one of the oldest Swiss watch manufacturers. Founded in 1888, the brand remains synonymous with value for money, offering well-built timepieces around the $1,000 price point and under. Now, the watch I want to highlight is technically above $1,000, but hear me out here. So the DS Action GMT is really the sweet spot when it comes to affordable GMTs. Stainless steel case, sapphire crystal, 200 meters of water resistance, and a sapphire crystal bezel material. This has a sunburst dial, date neatly tucked away at the 3 o'clock position, and this is a true GMT rather than a collar GMT, which is pretty unique at the price point. Okay, MHD Watches is another new discovery for me, and another brand I found at the Bristol Watch Show. So MHD Watches are designed in the UK by Matthew Humphreys, whose background is in automotive design for Morgan. This is my favorite in the MHD catalog, the Daily Driver Panda. Simple, classic design language, matte white dial, black subdials with pops of red. This has a case diameter of 40mm, 12mm thickness, and a lug-to-lug of 47mm. Powering this is the Seiko VK64 Hybrid Mecha Quartz Chronograph movement, which I love. So a hybrid movement gives you the best of both worlds. It is quartz powered and has the precision of quartz, while also giving sweeping seconds and instant reset chronograph. Now, I know the MoonSwatch is still divisive in watch enthusiast circles, and rightfully so, but I was recently talking to one of my friends who has the Mission to Moon phase, which is the little Snoopy one. This was an expensive purchase for him, he wears it daily, and he absolutely loves it. It was nice to get offline and remember, oh crap, spending £270 is a lot of money for most people to spend on a watch, and you're still getting an iconic design that's fun to wear. So if you are wanting all the proportions and wearing experience of the Speedmaster and not wanting to pay the £7,500 that the MoonSwatch costs right now, holy smokes, I feel like I'm living in 2018. When did the Speedmaster Professional start costing £7,500? I swear they were just £5,500. When did this happen? But I digress. The MoonSwatch is awesome. It's a great way to have something that feels like the Speedmaster for a fraction of the price. And it is pretty available nowadays. If you pop into your nearest swatch, they will likely have every color there and available to buy. Now, up to this point, we've been talking about new watches that are under $1,000, but there's a lot of value to be found going secondary, especially if you're wanting more mainstream brands. First, the vintage Omega Seamaster de Ville. I feel like a lot of watch enthusiasts began with something like one of these. You can find a lot of great examples for under £1,000 or $1,300, but if you're willing to stretch the budget to under $2,000, that opens up a whole new world. A whole new world! Okay, next. I've had a weird little thing for IWC Porsche designs for a while now, and I probably always will. These are weird and wonderful. Here's my personal favorite on Chrono 24, £941. Fantastic. Moving on to Tudor, and vintage Tudor is an under-talked about thing. There's a lot of cool Tudor Oyster Prince models available for under £1,000 or $1,300, and once again, if you're willing to stretch the budget to $2,000, there are some very cool models out there. It's the Brit Pierce channel. Things will always come back to the Tag Heuer Formula 1 at some point. After the release of the Kith Heuers, secondary sellers have kind of been chancers with this. Don't pay over £500. Okay, Breitling. I've always had a weird thing for the aerospace. And a digi-display, just so classic Breitling. These are hard to find under £1,000, but still can be found. Once again, if you're willing to spring to $2,000, this opens up a lot more options. Another tag? Brittany? Yes. Another one I keep looking at on Chrono 24. These are almost exclusively under $1,000, even the chronograph variations, and it's just some neo-vintage goodness. Right. Okay, this was way more than 10 affordable watches that look expensive, but I couldn't help myself. I'd love to know in those comments down below, did I miss anything big? Was your favorite watch not on there? Write it down below. Like this video, 1 like equals 1 kiss I give my adorable baby George. So, I would like this video if I was you. Thank you once again to IFL for sponsoring today's video. Don't forget to check them out. Link is down below. And now, Pope tier patrons. Get their names on the screen. Ooh, yes, thank you, patrons. You're the best, you're the greatest. Ooh, I said thank you, patrons. The patron song is back. Sorry, patron song haters. It's back. Hoo-hoo. Thank you, Pope tier patrons. Thank you, all tier patrons. You're all amazing. Thank you so much for supporting my weird little channel, and I hope you keep enjoying my content. I love making it, and I hope you keep enjoying it. Okay. Bye, guys.